You are listening to your New Puppies podcast, starting you and your dog off on the right paw. Here's your host, Debbie Salento.
Hello, and welcome to another special episode of Your New Puppies podcast. I'm Debbie, and once again, I wanted to come in here and check in because we are in a very bizarre situation that none of us could have ever predicted. So one of the things and one of the struggles that you may be going through is how to socialize your young puppy during a time that you're not allowed to socialize. Because my view hasn't changed. I still believe that socialization is one of the most important things you can do for your puppy. But now that we are social distancing, how are we supposed to accomplish that? So of course, this is not an ideal situation. And we're not going to do everything that we would do if we were in normal times. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do anything, right? We got to work with what we got. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to talk about different ways to not only modify the socialization, but other things that you'll be able to focus on now. And then we'll just have to do some extra hard double time once we get back to some kind of normal life. Now, some good news with this is that the more and more I do research and I pay attention, I keep reading, and it keeps confirming that our dogs can't catch it, cannot get COVID-19, and they don't transmit it, which is great. So they're not part of our social distancing. But part of socializing our puppies is them meeting new people. Well, they can't exactly meet new people if you are staying away from people. There's also going to be some complications with other dogs because most of the time, other dogs are attached to people. So the one category that we're going to focus on right now is environments. And this is the one that usually we don't get enough of because it's so big. Like environments is all about sounds and smells and sights and just different feelings, different textures, your dog being handled, that kind of stuff is one that sometimes we don't do enough of. So now we're going to do plenty of it, right? And then there are some ways that we can maybe get some people and dog socialization in anyway. Now, before I get into the details here, I just want to make sure that, I know that things are constantly changing. I'm recording this and I plan to release it the same day, but that doesn't mean that something won't change in the meantime or by the time you listen to this and download this episode. I know our environment and our restrictions are like in a constant state of flux. I mean, just depending on what country you're in, what part of your country you are in, what state you are in the US, of what's open, what's available to you. So some of these suggestions might not work for you. And I'm trying to be sensitive to that. But I'm going to go back to, we're going to work with what we got. We're going to make the modifications where we can and control what we can control. And if we can't control something, then we're not going to worry about it. Because that doesn't help us and it doesn't change the situation that we're in. And the very last thing that I want is for you to feel any more anxiety and stress. So take these as a starting point, as some suggestions, and hopefully you can take your situation and where you are and where your puppy is and build around them. And if you have even more suggestions, I would love to hear them because I'd like to get as many out there as possible. All right, so let's get down to it. So first, let's talk about what you can do. And that is focus on different environments. So you can focus on different environments, different sounds, different objects, even just inside your home. So this is a great time to get your puppy used to a vacuum or the washing machine or that strange looking lamp that your spouse made you put in the closet. Just seeing novel things and things that are different that may make a weird sound or smell a little weird or just different is socialization to your puppy, just discovering these new things. If they've never seen you in your big winter jacket before, put on your big winter jacket, put a backpack on, put a hat on. Yes, sure. Ideally, you want to see all different types of people with jackets and backpacks and hats on, but right now they have you, so we can use this opportunity. Now, they're probably going to act a little nervous and a little weird and a little like, maybe they might even like bark at you in half like play and uncertainty. And that's when you get those high value treats, get a good association. Don't force them to go near anything that they don't want to. You can encourage them, but don't force. And a lot of times space and distance is key. So if it's a noise, maybe, somebody's on one side of the house running the vacuum while you're 3 rooms away with the puppy, and then you bring the vacuum closer and closer. It gets louder and louder until finally it's in the room with them. And you go super, super slow until they're comfortable in each situation, especially because most of us have more time on our hands right now. You have the time to do this. A ball that just rolls a little differently. Maybe it's just a little bit of a weird shape, or maybe it's a different weight. That can help. Teaching your puppy the stairs. Teaching them to be handled. So playing past the puppy where you look between their paws and look in their ears and look in their mouth. Or do any kind of grooming from nail clipping to brushing to a bath. Any of these new or novel things can be part of your puppy's socialization. Now, even getting out of the house, so outside places where you can still be distanced from people. So maybe just taking them out for a walk, taking them in the car and just bringing them to a different neighborhood. As of right now, that's all still social distancing. Just the car ride itself to bring them to a new neighborhood. Open the windows, let them smell the smells that are going by. And in most places, that's still okay. Like any outside public place. Even though, no, you're not going to be running up to the other people there, just seeing other people from a distance is something. Seeing other dogs from a distance is something. Now, let's talk about other dogs. This one's tough. This one's hard because most of the time, other dogs are attached to other people. So that's going to be even harder nowadays. Now, this is where you can check with your local daycare or pet sitter to see if they're still open, to see what their services are and see how they have modified them. Now, most pet sitters or dog care facilities are losing a lot of business right now because everybody is home. So not only can they be an option for you, but this is a great time to go support them. So I did reach out to Colin from Pet Sitter Confessionals, which is another podcast. It's for pet professionals like pet sitters, dog walkers. They have a lot of great resources, and they're also putting a lot of resources out now specifically for this environment and what's going on with the COVID-19. So if you're a pet sitter or dog walker or another pet professional, they are definitely a podcast and a place to go check out. But I reached out to him to see what the pet sitting situations are and what they're doing. And a lot of them are still working. They're still doing their job. Some even take them into their homes. But of course, they're taking extra safety precautions and extra measures to make sure that everybody stays safe. So you can still try and reach out to one of them. Maybe they can simply bring your dog to a different area to walk them. They're another person that your puppy can meet. And same thing with your local daycare. Puppy classes, I know they're canceled right now. And that's where most of the time you can get really great dog-dog socialization in a healthy, safe environment. But just letting them go hang out in a daycare with adult, well-socialized dogs is an amazing way to socialize your dog with other dogs. I'm still going to say no to dog parks. I don't know about you, but I know around here, even the dog parks are closed. But, maybe if you go when there's nobody else there and you and your friend meet up, let the dogs play and you guys stand on opposite sides, that's fine. But you still don't always know what dogs and what the dogs' behaviors are going to be and what their health is like. And that's why I'm not a huge fan of puppies in dog parks. But we also aren't in perfect times. So maybe that play date that you wanted to plan with your friend, you move it to an open area dog park where you can still social distance, but your dogs can play. So, like I said, this isn't a perfect situation. This isn't ideal, but these are the things that we can do in the meantime. And then once things get back to a little normalcy, who knows when that'll be, but it will happen. And then we can kind of go in double time and up our socialization of people and the environment and the dogs that we couldn't see during this time. So that is all I have for you for now. Again, I hope this finds you as safe and as happy and as healthy as you can be in this situation during this uncertain, unprecedented time. I will continue to do anything I can for you, even if it's in small ways. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and listening. I hope to speak with you soon. Bye for now.